This is insane. I just found out why Mark Carney was endorsed by Donald Trump. Watch this. This is in French. It just came out today. And this is using the Google Translate. Mark Carney has several cards up his sleeve to face Donald Trump due to his past role in Brookfield, which has helped the Americans' president's clan. The firm, when it was chaired by Mark Carney, paid back Donald Trump's son-in-law by saving his company from serious financial difficulties. The deal dates back to 2018 when Brookfield signed a 99-year lease to rent the entirety of a 41-story building owned by the Kushner family in the heart of Manhattan. The total cost $1.1 billion. The Canadian company paid the 99 years of rent all at once instead of paying it annually. This highly unusual move ensured a massive and rapid cash flow inflow for the Kushner company, which was due to repay $1.2 billion in a mortgage payments in just a few months later. In February 2019, Brookfield is a sprawling Canadian investment firm. Mark Carney chaired the board of directors until January 15 and still holds significant financial interest in the company. And sorry, I want to correct myself. Mark Carney was the chairman when the Senate Finance Committee began the investigation of the infamous $1.1 billion check. During his tenure at Brookfield, he twice refused to provide the information requested by senators. This was said by Senator Ron Wyden, the committee chairman, in a 2022 letter to the firm reviewed by our Office of Investigation. Unbelievable. The Senate Finance Committee was trying to understand the links between Brookfield and Qatar since the transaction was made by Brookfield Property Partners, BPY, a branch of the firm whose largest investors are the sovereign wealth fund of this Gulf monarchy. Although, according to Reuters, the Qataris have never exercised this right, suspicions of conflicts of interest and interference are strong, as Jared Kushner was President Trump's Middle East advisor between 2018 and 2021. In an attempt to clarify the situation, Senator Wyden first sent a letter requesting the information from Brookfield in December 2020. 2 years later, in October 2022, having received no satisfactory response, he again called the company to cooperate. This is why Donald Trump endorsed him. This is why he would prefer the Liberals to be in power. Mark Carney scratched his son-in-law's back to the tune of $1.1 billion. Mark Carney did not disclose any of this. Mark Carney has significant financial interest in Brookfield today. Millions and millions of dollars in stock options, and he refuses to tell us what conflicts of interest he has. It makes complete sense now why Donald Trump referred to him as Prime Minister Mark Carney when he tweeted out that he spoke with him and that he would speak to him after the election. Do you not see this? This is insane. And here's the craziest part. If the roles were reversed and Pierre Poilievre had this sort of relationship where he authorized over $1 billion to Trump's, basically his family and his son-in-law, you don't think the main news outlets, our Main Street media in Canada, would not be all over this? This is absolutely massive news. Carney is in bed with Donald Trump.
Hi, it's John, and welcome to the channel. 5:43 p.m. on Friday, March the 28th. I do have my big blue mug of coffee. This is an emergency video. This is a very important video you need to share with people. Folks, we are being lied to, we are being manipulated, we are being sold to the United States of America by Mark Carney and the Liberal Party. So you may have heard that Trump and Carney had a discussion. And I've told you all along, Carney needs this deal, this tariff issue to continue until after the election. It drives up his poll numbers. But apparently Trump and Carney came to some sort of an agreement, which helps Mark Carney because he's the prime minister, and now he looks like he's working with Donald Trump, and he's the master negotiator. Let's hear what these two men released on X today and their statements regarding this discussion. I'm not going to read all of this to you. And I'm going to show you a video that will blow your mind. Today, the Prime Minister, Mark Mark Carney spoke with the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. The Prime Minister and the President had a very constructive conversation about the relationship between our two countries. The leaders agreed to begin comprehensive negotiations about a new economic and security relationship immediately following the election. That's as far as I'm going. Now let's see what Donald Trump said. I just finished speaking with Prime Minister Mark Carney of Canada. It was an extremely productive call. We agreed on many things and will be meeting immediately after Canada's upcoming election. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all planned. This is what the Liberals are going to do. They are going to sell out your country. Does that sound like the Donald Trump that has been talking about tariffs? No, he's going to get everything he wants from Canada because Carney's going to give in and give him everything he wants as soon as he wins on April the 28th. Here is Michael Barrett, Conservative MP from Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands, and Rideau Lakes, explaining exactly what's going on. You are being lied to and manipulated.
We've now seen the leaked Liberal plans from the media company that employs Mark Carney's top advisor, Gerald Butts, that employs Mark Carney's wife, and until a couple days ago, employed Mark Carney's star candidate, Evan Solomon. And it says that after the election, Carney will quietly fold and give in to Donald Trump's demands. We're talking about the unjustifiable and unacceptable tariffs that Donald Trump is looking to put on Canadians, specifically on Canadian cars and car parts. Now, we've said that we're going to stand shoulder to shoulder with Canadian auto workers. We're going to stand shoulder to shoulder with all Canadians against these unjustified and unacceptable tariffs from the Trump administration. But now we see that Mark Carney is planning to quietly fold to those demands so that he can have an easy ride if he were to be elected as Prime Minister. We've seen that Carney is prepared to do what Donald Trump says. We saw just 6 days after Trump first threatened Canada that Mark Carney moved the headquarters of Brookfield from Canada to the US. This is a guy who created investment funds that were sheltered from Canadian corporate taxes, and now he claims, well, he needs Canadians' votes, that he's going to put their interests first. You just can't believe anything that Mark Carney says. You know, he says he knows how the world works. What he really means is he knows how to make the world work for himself and his rich buddies, and everyday Canadians are going to pay for it.